record. She's also going to be at the Shade Show in Olmsted at April 13th. On deck we have Diana Ramsey, but coming up to the stage we have the one, our big wonderful giant here. You can catch him at the Shanghai anytime. He produces shows for Top Dog Comedy such as this and the Comedy Codebreakers. Let's give it up for Nick Cody!
Thank you very much. Give it up for yourselves. Give it up for all your comics and doors one more time. Thank you guys. There is one thing I'm a little disappointed in though. It's that we have this great space. Thanks again, Peace of Mind Brewing, but we don't have anybody that wants to sit in the front row. What is that, you guys? As a comic, it feels good to build that relationship with the crowd, right? There's that intimacy. Are you guys cool with me getting more intimate with you? Yeah? You guys sound timid. Can I get your full consent? All right, fine then. How are we doing tonight, Peace of Mind? Is this good enough for you guys in the front row now? You're now front rowers. Congratulations. All right, here's where we'll start my set. Has anybody heard the news about Lizzo? No, it's very recent. I might be the first comedian to make this joke, but Lizzo has quit her job, she said. She announced she's been bullied too much. It's a lot of the same reason I quit dating. I know a lot of you are looking at me right now thinking, why would you do that? But I'm telling you, the girls that see this picture, my profile on Tinder, are going to be thinking, man, I'm getting Chris Hemsworth when they match. But when the clothes come off and they get Chris Farley, they're going to say way meaner things than please sir, put the little coat back on. And I'm not okay with that. That's why instead of being bullied, I'd rather do comedy, where people will just feign laughter or ignore you. Much preferred. Now, that's tough for Lizzo, very hard for her. Somebody who's been having a really hard week is P. Diddy. Oh. Yeah, it sounds like some of you guys know who that is. I see a lot of white people here. I was expecting to have to explain that's formerly known as Puff Daddy to some of you. Sean Combs. To me, that's Daddy. Oh. Listen up, hold on, let me finish. Just because I relate to him way too much. Okay? Just like Lizzo said, I took a DNA test and it turns out I'm 100% that resting bitch face that P. Diddy has. Woo! Yeah, and the same blank stare if you take off the sunglasses. Thank you, CTE. Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with P. Diddy, obviously. We're not going to get into all of it. But the accusations, for those that don't know, are some people are saying he has recordings that hold on celebrities almost as bad as Epstein. So that means just like those, we'll probably never actually hear about it. Yeah? But there is one thing out there I wish I didn't hear. It's this audio track that's out there. They're saying Meek Mill had sex with P. Diddy. Oh yeah. And I don't know if that audio is legit or not. In fact, it sounds like a ripoff to me. I know Allison mentioned 50 Cent earlier, but it sounded like a song from 50 Cent, the intro of Many Men, in which they're replicating 50 Cent getting shot 9 times. And I heard just as many cuss words and as much yelling, but it sounded like Meek Mill was not taking 9 gunshots. It sounded like he was taking 9 inches. Oh. I know, too soon. We have to know, first, did he or P. didn't he? Did he P. diddler or not? I don't know. All I know is that stock of P. Diddy is falling faster than a Boeing plane or that Baltimore bridge. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Nick Cody. I'm a former Oregon offensive lineman. Thank you. As a stand-up comedian, my lines are just getting more offensive. So those of you that booed, do it one more time. I dare you. All right, that's what I thought. We're going to proceed then. One more thing before I move on, because I'm not done with Diddy jokes. No, we gotta go with this. As Doris mentioned, I do produce this show. And one other thing I have in common with Diddy, besides the resting bitch face, is that I'm not nearly as talented as the people I book around me as you've seen from this comedy show tonight, okay? So give them another round of applause. And I think that's the perfect way to let you guys know having another show, but we are changing the date. Normally been doing this show here, Tapped Out. Tapped Out 10 will be on 4/20. For those of you that partake. For those of you that don't, please still show up. You can drink. Yeah. In fact, I know March has had a couple drinking holidays, right? Any of you guys partake? Yeah. See, I celebrate St. Patty's Day all month because I've got a lot of Irish in me. That's typically Irish whiskey. Jameson preferably. I don't know, any of you guys know? Not only that, I like to pregame for St. Patty's with Stone Cold Dave. Does anybody celebrate Stone Cold Dave? Give me a hell yeah! Hell yeah! Nobody? No? You know how you celebrate Stone Cold Day, right? Start with 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers, 4 beers, 5 beers. In fact, I encourage you guys to celebrate tonight if you didn't already by buying many beers. Hell yeah. All right. That felt like the appropriate response. I don't know. Besides the resting bitch face, I've also been told growing up my entire life, I have a prison mouth. Ooh, not that kind of prison mouth. Don't get too excited. No, it's like 10 times worse than a potty mouth growing up, right? And I can only blame my parents because they met in prison. Naturally, it gets passed down to me as I'm a product of prison love. The problem is that they didn't meet as inmates, they met as correction sergeants. That's a big correction to make. That makes me the inmate. I know, right? There was a lot of days where instead of getting suspended, I got take your child to work day. It's cool, I had my own cell for the most part. It was pretty cool. If I was on good behavior, I got at least an hour of arts and crafts and 30 minutes of yard time with the boys. Yeah, it's cool. When you're able to say that you've been to prison when you're in like the 3rd grade, you don't have to give the details, right? People are just interested. Yeah, and it's also funny because my dad, he volunteered as the prison Santa. So when inmates had kids come and visit, he was able to go dress up as Santa, give them the full experience, which, for most kids is crying before you get on Santa's lap. That photographic moment that you definitely want that guy to have behind bars for sure of this cellmate. All right, some of you guys get that joke. Not many prison folks here, I don't like that. It's good to know. Good, clean crowd, I like it. It was tough though, I got to help volunteer as an elf, and I grew out of it very quickly. Not just because I'm fucking enormous. I mean, that was obvious the whole time. I was like Will Ferrell, unbelievable as an elf. But no, it was like, I got to like 12 or 13, and I grew out of it because I heard my parents so many times just say things about the inmates that I just couldn't do it anymore. I was waiting, and one kid, he was crying in line, and I was like, hey, all right, I want to check this out. If you don't want one of those photos with Santa where you're crying. So I go up and I'm like, hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? And I read his name tag, it's Jimmy, and I think I recognize his last name. I'm like, what's wrong? He goes, I don't know if I can ask Santa what I want for this year. I said, Jimmy, tell me, and I'll run it by Santa. He said, I just want my dad out this year and free for Christmas. Yeah, unfortunately, this is one of those names I recognize, because my parents, they tried to tell me I can't get in trouble for bad words, because the worst things I even say don't compare to the inmates. Because, well, when they get bad words said to them, they just ignore it to the point that inmates actually at one point get a chunk out of their own arm and spit it at the corrections officers. So I had to tell little Jimmy, maybe you should wish for something else. And you should tell your dad the next time he wants to piss off the corrections officers to just keep the bite in his mouth. All right. We have 4 people keeping up with that joke. I like that. Seems about appropriate. All right, we got Easter coming up. Anybody excited for Easter? Yeah, it's not one of my favorite holidays. Like I prefaced, all my favorite holidays seem to involve drinking in one way or another. Yeah, St. Patty's Day, Cinco de Mayo, 4th of July, January 6th. There's more, the start of football season, opening day, Halloween, Oktoberfest. Lobster Fest. But I don't know, I used to enjoy Christmas the most, but as soon as my dad passed away, since he used to be Santa, it's just not as enjoyable anymore, because I don't get to see as many kids cry. But I recently learned, thank you, that Easter was coming up, because Dave & Buster's had an actual event to meet the Easter Bunny last week, and I went. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dave & Buster's. The biggest fan in Linwood since they opened, besides the staff and patrons at the local Chuck E. Cheese. Because they're happy I'm not showing up there alone, intoxicated, stuck in the children's play structures. No, now I actually get to go and register on the Dave & Buster's app instead of register as a sex offender, because I'm not going back to prison, you guys. I really enjoyed the Easter Bunny event though, because I saw the kids crying at the Easter Bunny the same way they used to cry at my dad, and to try and bring him back out of it, to make it fair again, I sat on the Easter Bunny's lap and he was the only one crying that day. My name's Nick Cody, thank you very much.